The wacky world of MultimediaJay.
Howdy folks, happy Friday. Well, the latest from Lukie and JJ came in, and we're going to take a look at this very shortly, but first a few updates from last go-round. I've decided I'm going to call this Dirty Bike 64, because it's just as dirty as heck. It's kind of close to Dirt Bike, but yeah, this cartridge has seen better days. But I'm still thinking along the lines of, hey, it's called Condition Resellers, so yeah, we'll revisit Dirty Bike 64 later to see just how deep that rabbit hole goes. Alright, let's check out what we have here. Got a couple of games for various systems, most of them cartridges, and then first, before anyone freaks out, no, I did not pay $4.95 for a Game Boy version of Tetris. More on that later, that's just an old sticker. So, from Lukie, we have ourselves the Super Retro Advance Adapter, which is basically Retrobit's answer to the Super Game Boy, except unlike the Super Game Boy, I don't think the Super Retro Advance can play old Game Boy Color games like the actual Game Boy Advance could. Now this is actually a Famiclone. Oh, what's this? Purchase of this item helps the Kids in Need Foundation. Sweet! Nice, a little bit of charity involved here too. So this is a peripheral from Retrobit. It's basically their answer to the Super Game Boy, except it doesn't allow, unlike the original GBA, it doesn't allow, I don't think it allows previous Game Boy platforms to play. It only does Game Boy Advance games. But what this does basically is it kind of replaces the Game Boy Player, except it doesn't have a disc you have to load up in order to get it to work. Now this thing is a Famiclone in and of itself, actually. If you have the right Retrobit console... Okay, that's enough staring at the box. So this is basically a Famiclone in and of itself, because if you have a Retrobit console... If you have a Retrobit console, you can Super Retro Advance Adapter, cool brands. Nice design though, sleek, black, and it's got an extension cable for a link-up cable and an AV out. Now this is a Famiclone in and of itself. If you have the right Retrobit console, it doesn't require the AV cable. But if you wanted to plug this thing into a Super Nintendo or something like that, then you would use this to go out to your TV. It's kind of like the ones that would come with a camera or something, and it does composite out, which I hope I don't have to use it with the Super Retro Trio. Supposedly, you don't need to use this, you don't need the cable if you're using the Super Retro Trio. Just for the heck of it, let's put the camera down here and let's just see what happens when we put... I'm not so sure. I don't think it fits. Nah, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think that, I just tried putting that Tetris game in there, and I don't think it's gonna work. We're gonna test those games out with the Super Game Boy anyways before we start messing with the Super Retro Advance. So that's the Super Retro Advance. It's smaller than the Super Game Boy. It's kind of bent, kind of like a Famicom cartridge. So I think it might fit in a Famicom, a Super Famicom as well. But don't quote me on that. I don't have a Super Famicom to go messing with. I'm just going to try this in the Super Retro Trio, and supposedly it should work as is. So that's what we have for accessories today. Alright, let's get on to the games that we have in the pile here. So the Super Retro Advance, let's take a look down this thing here. We have a little circuit board view there, and a little thing you put your games in. So we'll try it first with a GBA game, one of the Final Fantasies, and then we'll switch to something else, see how it works and all that other fun stuff. I hope that I don't need the cable, because that'll let me use S-Video coming out of the Super Retro Trio, which should make the games look quite a bit better. Alright, let's get into what we have as far as software goes. A mix of platforms, mostly cartridge platforms, and the official relaunch of my Game Boy collection. Let's begin with, of course, Tetris, since we're talking about the original Game Boy here. Now, I did not get gouged for $5 for this game. Matter of fact, let me go get the price list here, and let's compare what... Actually, no, I already compared all of these. But let's just say that I did not pay $5 for this, and I did not pay $5 for Ka-Blooey either. So let's go grab the packing list and check some of these prices out. Alright, I have done a quick check of eBay loose cart prices, and I'm surprised at the price ranges on some of these games out there. There's some real gouge artists at work on eBay right now. I mean, even with, when you take into account like the extra 20% for not overhead, but for fees and stuff like that, some of these prices are nuts. And some of these ranges, we're talking like literally $10 ranges in some of these games. Alright, so let's begin with Tetris on the Game Boy. I did not pay $4.95 for this thing. That's an old sticker. Somewhere along the line, somebody gouged somebody for $5 for this game. Or, well, I don't think it's really gouging. That kind of puts it in the middle of the road, but that's not what JJ sold it to me for. So, this is an example of the sort of thing that's the reason why I do my shopping for these retro things at JJ Games. Because one of the things I like that the guy running JJ Games does, one of the things that I like that he does, is he literally takes pictures of just about his entire inventory of used games, so you can actually look at the individual cart. So this, of course, I used to have this as the pack-in game with my original creamed spinach Game Boy, and it's fitting that this kind of serve as the reboot for my for my Game Boy collection to finally get some decent game. And of course, yeah, Tetris, yeah, I could probably get the NES version of this game too, but Tetris is one of those games that's everywhere. But if I have any kind of Game Boy collection whatsoever, I figure I should at least have Tetris somewhere. And the condition, unlike Dirty Bike 64 over here, let's leave this around to compare, the condition of this is in a lot better shape. Like, this guy specifically looks for adult-owned stuff. So even though this isn't good condition according to his website, I mean, it'll be easy to take this sticker off. Just a little bit of Goo Gone or scraping or something like that, or just some light prodding or some cleaning will take this sticker off easily. And the thing is, there actually is a discount if there's stickers on the game. Well, as long as the sticker isn't on top of the sticker, then I'd say there's a deal to be made. Put Dirty Bike 64 over. Well, let's just leave Dirty Bike 64 standing all in the corner by its lonesome. So this will reboot a Game Boy collection. I eventually want to get, if I can find a deal for it, Super Mario Land and Super Mario Land 2 6 golden coins. Two of my favorite Mario games on that platform, but we'll see how dirty these are a little later on. The other Game Boy game, of course, is the Nintendo World Cup. Slightly worse condition than the Tetris, but it is still in better shape than Dirty Bike 64 over there, or Ratty Racer when I first got it. Now, what was the condition of? No, this was in good condition. So, whoa! Let's do the report card. Let's do the report card one game at a time here. Tetris. The range on eBay is $1 to $10. I kid you not. There's people out there trying to sell this game loose cart for $10. Ah, eBay. Actual price paid, $308 towards the bottom of the range. Yay! I think that's cheaper than some Steam games that I've gotten. That's down in the Steam range. You're only talking like a couple bucks for a very playable game. Alright, Nintendo World Cup. This, Tetris and Ka-Blooey were the two games that I deliberately bought in less than good condition, because stickers on game looked like something I could remove. So, and of course, they all technically have stickers on the game because the JJ inventory stickers on the back. Alright, Nintendo World Cup, again, why did I get this if I already have the NES version? Because this version is a little different. Play it on the Super Game Boy, it's, the teams are different, the mechanics are different, the sound effects are different. Like, for example, the Team USA, or all of the sprites for all the teams you can play as in the NES version will all have the same set of sprites, but they'll actually have their actual sprites, like if you played against the computer on this version. Another difference too is that the NES version still is from before the fall of the Berlin Wall, I'm guessing, when they were developing it. It still has Germany as West Germany, and on here it's just plain Germany. So, and I used to always play as Germany. So, since I'm a big fan of the Nintendo World Cup, I figured it probably would be completely inappropriate for me to not relaunch my Game Boy collection with a copy of this game somewhere. And it's a little hard to find too, because it's a sports game, and you really had to be a fan of it in order to have played it back in the day. So this sucker was $250. The eBay range is $3 to $13. It's a score of the day. Thanks, JJ. Moving on to Super Nintendo, the one and only SNES game that I picked up. This is the other one that is not in good condition because of stickers on the game. And no, I didn't get gouged for $5 for this thing. I guess this and this count as stickers, but I mean, come on. Ooh, this is on pretty tight. A little shard of packing tape here. I think this will come off without damaging the label. I'm not going to try that with one hand. I know that'll come off. I know that will definitely come off. And other than that, it is like, well, the condition this was stickers on game and stuff. A couple of scratches there and there. there that I might just rub out with some chemicals and stuff. Ka-Blooey is a game that I played over a sitter's house. There was this girl gamer sitter that I had towards the end of my days going to sitters' houses who introduced me to Japanese RPGs and puzzle games. I believe I've mentioned her before. I don't think she was trying to live up to the girl gamer stereotype that, girl gamers only want to play puzzle games and RPGs. But the majority of the games she had were puzzle games and RPGs. So this was one of them. Actually, for a puzzle, it's an action puzzle game. You play as this blue guy, and you walk around trying to set off all the bombs on a level that blow up the blocks in the level without getting yourself blown up. So it's interesting. Look for a Let's Play if you want to see this game in action, because it's actually a pretty interesting game. This is the sort of, if you're not really into puzzle games like Tetris and stuff, this could be the kind of puzzle game that you're interested in. Alright, how do we do on this one? This one was $5.65, and this one was $5.65 and in less than good condition, so I could have gotten bagged even more for the price. However, the range is $3 to $13 on eBay. Yes, there is some jackass out there gouging $13 for this game in loose cart form. Yeah, as I'm recording this, some jackass is trying to sell this game for $13 on eBay. So it's in the middle of the road. It's not a score or a ripoff, so it's kind of in the middle, which is where I want to be. I want to be at the most in the middle of the eBay range. So $5.50-ish when it's 3 to 13, that's sort of okay. Alright, next up is Cruis'n World on the N64. And it's in pretty decent shape, even though it probably could use a little bit of cleaning to get some of the fingerprint smudges and stuff off. But it's, again, all of these are in better shape than Dirty Bike 64 over here, and with Ratty Racer when I first got it. Cruis'n World, I already picked up Cruis'n Exotica last go-around. This is the other Cruis'n game on the N64. This was never anything more than a rental for me back in the day, and it's great to finally have it in the collection. This was $6.34, and the current range on eBay is $6 to $18, which makes this a score of the day. Right at the bottom of the eBay range, just where I want it. So, yeah, somebody is nuts enough to sell a loose cart of Cruis'n World for $18 on eBay. eBay people. Maybe I should do like mean, median, and mode and do like statistical analysis on prices to determine my ranges or something like that, but I don't really feel like crunching all those numbers just for games that cost less than $10 each, and they're about on par with the prices for Steam games during a Steam sale. Milo's Astro Lanes. This is another one that I loved renting on the N64 back in the day. Again, you know, no torn stickers or anything. It's in great condition. It'll probably look even better when I clean it up. I think the guy that runs JJ's actually does do a little bit of cleaning on these before selling them, which is one reason why I like JJ Games more than the secondhand shop that sold me Dirty Bike 64 over there. We're going to make a lot of references to Dirty Bike 64. Okay, so Milo's Astro Lanes. This is a sci-fi bowling game. Go look for a Let's Play of it. It's kind of cheesy, but kind of funny at the same time. Let's just say I liked it. I liked it back when I rented it, and I'll probably like it now. So I'm going to give this sucker a good clean, check the contacts later, and we'll see what we got to play with here. And it looks like the JJ sticker is already coming off of its own accord, so that'll save me some effort later. Milo's Astro Lanes is going for $3 to $13 on eBay right now. This one, in particular, in good condition, costs $5.50. So cool, towards the bottom-ish, for something in good condition. Alright, next up, Off-Road Challenge. It's basically Cruis'n USA with trucks. Could use a little bit of cleaning up. But a little bit of polishing up here and there. But this one doesn't go for very much at all. Look in the right spot, you could probably get this for like $2, $3. Unfortunately, I wasn't one of those lucky ones. This was another rental that I had as a kid that I now am adding to my collection finally, and it could be in better shape. This is probably the rattiest of the games from what I'm seeing. Yeah, it's probably it's an Off-Road, Milo, and Cruis'n. Yeah, it's definitely the rattiest. So this sucker right here, look at that. Yep, it is the rattiest. So this is the closest thing to that thing over there. So Off-Road Challenge, you can get this for $2, $3 if you know where to look. JJ's, unfortunately, could do a better job pricing it up. The range for Off-Road Challenge on eBay right now is 3 to 10. This was $5.71, so a little bit higher than what I'd like to pay for it. A little bit higher than what I'd like to pay for it. But our ripoff of the day is not any of these cartridge games. Nope. It is the one and only non-cartridge game that I picked up. This is, it's technically in good condition, but what we can do is it's still got the little thing that we can peel off, and it's a greatest hits non-black label, Namco Museum. The last of these retro compilation games that the last of the retro compilation games that I'm picking up for PS2. This is the rip-off of the day, although it is complete. Although it is complete, we got ourselves manual, and this is actually a purple disc. Interestingly enough, this is a purple disc PlayStation disc. I'm not seeing too much for scratches, but oh wait, there's I caught something there, or maybe that's a smudge. Wait a minute, look at this. Yeah, there's some markings, there's some smudges along the edges. I think the guy might have tried like a resurfacer or a cleaning thing, and what's the scratches in the middle? Interesting. Howdy, folks. See me in Smurfavision on the disc there. So, Namco Museum. Namco Museum. This is the rip-off of the day, though, because it's too high up the eBay range right now. eBay, this is currently going for $3 to $9. This thing was $7.56. Too high up the scale. If it was around the 7 even, it would have been a little more worth it. But comparatively, at the very least, this is the rip-off of the day. It's got Pac-Man, other stuff on there. Basically games that Atari Anthology doesn't have. Alright, so overall, yeah, I did pretty well. Most of these games are exactly where I want them. If I'm paying eBay prices at all, they will be down at the bottom of the range. So let's do some fiddling around here and do some cleaning and see how dirty these are. Alright, tripod time, in the middle of getting some cleaning done here. So the JJ stickers on these games came off absolutely effortlessly. Some of them left a little residue, which will have to be goo-goned off later. But the big thing I like about JJ and the inventory stickers is that he's using a regular printer for them and not a thermal printer. So he doesn't have to, it depends on where he's getting the, depends on where they're getting the supplies from, but the, sometimes label printers can get expensive, and the secondhand store that sold me Dirty Bike 64 actually has a label printer, or actually has a real label printer. Alright, let's see how this $4.95 sticker comes off on this Tetris thing. So I did get a discount because there were stickers on the game. Let me just pick away at it. Let me just pick away at it here. And oh, and look at that. Just comes right off. A little bit of residue to goo-gone off later, but yeah, discounted game because of this, which is now off. Which is now off the game. Okay, with Namco Museum, our rip-off of the day. With Namco Museum, the little thing on here came off absolutely effortlessly, and I just had to recenter the cover art on the inserts. This sucker's ready to play. Alright, Ka-Blooey, the game with stickers on it, and a little bit of packing tape from the looks of it. So let's see, this peeled off like this, and let's see, yeah. Look at that, just like that. And now, of course, this sticker. And now, of course, this this little... Oh, look at that, it practically slides off, just like that. The adhesive was loose and everything. And here we are. And I got a discount for this. I'm kind of curious about about JJ Games and why they didn't bother taking the time to, well, again, we're talking about proprietorship here. Could the proprietor, you know, have one of these things while watching TV at night or something and just take stickers off, or just do some mild stuff while watching late-night TV or something? Anyways, the Game Boy carts are sticking to the table because of the residue left over. We'll goo-gon that off very, very easily later on, though. Alright, it's time to bust out some liquids here. Get our Q-tips ready. And let's see just how dirty these suckers are, if they're dirty at all. I think this guy might actually clean some of these games off before he, I think this guy might actually clean some of these games off before he goes and sells them. So this is 91% alcohol, so it's too strong to clean a label with. I'll have to use something weaker that won't make the ink run. So let's see if any of these games are dirty. Let's look at some Cruis'n World here. Barely anything. I'll probably be able to just give it a good scrub here, and it's getting a little dark, so there is some stuff on here, but I'm not seeing the kind of crap that I saw before. me just rub along the bottom here, see if there's anything that's sitting down there. And it's not as discolored as last time goes, but there is some stuff coming off. So, no, these weren't cleaned. So let's give them a good scrub before we go putting them in the system. Ah! Wasting alcohol. No! Yeah. Milo's Astrolanes has a little bit of stuff on it, but again, we're not seeing the same stuff that we saw with Dirty Bike 64. I'm going to give it a good scrub here and there, and I'm not seeing just a little bit that's around the edges, but it's not like Dirty Bike 64. I'm not destroying Q-tips en masse to get these things to where they need to be. Let's look at our ratty game of the day, Off-Road Challenge, and see what we've got going on here. Oh, there is a little bit of yellowing going on. Will that come off? We'll have to check that later. Contacts. What do we have on the contacts? Not seeing much of anything except whatever that yellow stuff is. Whatever that yellow dirt is, or dandelion colored dirt that's coming off. I think this one's going to have to be... Oh yeah, look at this. This has residue in it, so we're not going to be playing this one right away. Yeah, there we go. Brown stuff from inside. Where does this stuff come from? It's like someone's basement or something like that. I'm not even scrubbing the contacts. I'm scrubbing the plastic. So it looks like this sucker is going to have to come apart. Okay, off-road challenge. Got a little bit of dirt in the contacts, quite literally. So that's going to be over there with Dirty Bike 64 to be taken apart completely and cleaned up. Okay, Ka-Blooey. We just took the stickers off and it's back to close to new condition. What have we got lurking on these contacts? Little bit of just a little bit of stuff, but yeah. But Super Nintendo games, for what Super Nintendo games tend to get dirtier than N64 ones do. I think what I'll do with these is I'll do the rest of the cleaning off screen, so this video doesn't drag on forever. I'll do the rest of the cleaning off screen, and then we'll fire this sucker up. Tetris for Game Boy. It's getting a little bit of stuff on it. A little bit of stuff on it, but yeah, I think I can probably, yeah, a little bit, just a tiny bit. This one's relatively clean, and it's in great shape compared to some of the other stuff I've had to clean out. Oh man, Nintendo World Cup though. I can't say the same for the Nintendo World Cup. Give it a few more scrubs here. Oh man, look at that. Alright, I'm going to do the rest of the cleaning off camera for the games that I want to play in this video, and try out the Super Retro Advance once these suckers get cleaned up, do a little bit more experimenting. So we'll do the rest of this off camera so this video isn't one giant cleaning video in the middle. Anywho.